Good morning. Welcome to another One Mind meditation. We're halfway into this week. Our teacher for this week is Lao Tzu. And I'm going to dive right in with a message from Lao Tzu today. It starts this way. Imagine a chest overflowing with the priceless gems of knowledge and wisdom. It sits within you, ready to be opened, yet remains locked and inaccessible. The key to this treasure chest lies not in external force, but in the gentle, consistent practice of self-discovery. This is the essence of meditation, a journey of becoming intimately familiar with your own mind, your own heart, your own being. Good morning, Stefan. Hello, Brain, Sunmarie, Anthony. Very good to see you. Hope your week has been going swimmingly so far. Good morning, Sarah. Nice to see you join us live. The first thought from Lao Tzu says, "He who knows others is wise. He who knows himself is enlightened." He says, knowing others is intelligence. Knowing yourself is true wisdom. Mastering others is strength. Mastering yourself is true power. Good morning, Linda. So good to see you. Really knowing yourself is the core principle of any ancient wisdom, having deep knowledge of self. Lao Tzu says, knowledge is a treasure, but practice is the key to it. It's one thing to have this treasure, to have knowledge, but it'll only be unlocked through practice. Knowledge is like having a treasure chest that is locked. It is so close yet so far, because even the richest treasure is worth nothing if it is locked away from you, if you have no access to it. You already have so much knowledge that is available, but not being put to good use yet, and the key to unlocking this treasure is practice. The word meditation itself means to become familiar with. And what exactly we can become familiar with through the practice of meditation is ourself. We might think that we'd get to a place where we never become triggered again, or never experience unwanted emotions again. But for the moment, let go of that idea and entertain this thought. Anne-Marie, good morning. Pat, good morning. Good to see you here. Entertain this thought. What if every thought and feeling you have, even the worst ones, becomes intimately familiar to you? What if you never become unsettled or blindsided by an emotion or a thought because you know them, you know these emotions, you know these thoughts, you know exactly why it shows up, where it comes from, and how to deal with it, because you have become deeply familiar with your mind to the point that all of this is welcomed, all of this is accepted. Maggie, very good morning. Awesome seeing you. Can you imagine the ease and speed with which you'll be able to move through whatever has upset you? How much faster would you be able to return your attention to where your energy is spent most productively? The key to this treasure is practice, because everything you practice, you become better at. So if you're ready, that's exactly what we'll do. Today's meditation is called A Sense of Self, and we'll put this to practice. Vivian, a very good morning. Hello. Really good to see you. If you're ready, you can close your eyes and let's float away on this journey together, starting with the first few big breaths. Let's take a deep breath in and out. A deep breath in and out. A deep inhale and let it go. Deep breath in and out. One more big breath in and let it all flow away. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose gets drawn all the way deep down into your belly. And as you fill up your belly with air, also raise yourself up. As you breathe in, stretch out your spine, lift the top of your head toward the ceiling. And once you've reached your full height, let all of it go. With every exhale, soften. As you breathe out, soften your spine, slump down your shoulders, and drop your head. The word meditation means becoming familiar with. And while you continue your own full body breathing, rising with every inhale and falling with every exhale, we'll chat about this idea of becoming familiar with. What is it that we are becoming familiar with? The first things we encounter as we turn inwards in a practice like meditation and many other practices too are the outer layers. These are generally thoughts that come and go like the weather, clouds floating in, clouds floating out. Thoughts, feelings, emotions floating in and also out. The more we become familiar with this, the more we start trusting that what floats in will also float out. They won't stay around, they won't get stuck, they won't linger, they'll move along too. The more comfortable we become with any and all of our thoughts, feelings, and emotions, the more we become familiar with what is deeper, not transient, but has permanence. The more I start realizing that the part of me that sees this sees the thoughts, feelings, and emotions flow in and also out. This is who I am, the part of me that sees. Our meditation today is an invitation to our thoughts, feelings, and emotions in the personification of our inner children. We are inviting these inner children to come and sit with us. We'll make the example really simple, not overcomplicated. We are inviting sadness and anger and fear to come and sit with us. We would love to have a conversation. In fact, we would specifically love to hear you, listen to you, understand you. So as these three inner children take their seats, we'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, helping our bodies stretch, adjust, and settle down. And we're inviting these three inner children to stretch out along with us. It is helpful to add a bit of imagination here. It is not a necessity that you have a clear picture of these three inner children. It's simply helpful to be open to the idea. You can form a picture of what they look like as they stretch out along with us. Let's take a deep breath in. As you release, drop your head all the way forward. And roll out your neck muscles forward and to the left. And also forward and to the right. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders forward in big, slow circles. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders backwards in big circles, nice and slow. Take a deep breath in. As you release, focus on your spine. You can lean your upper body over to the left, and you can lean your upper body over to the right. You're leaning into back muscles. Very gently, give them a stretch on the left and on the right. One more big breath in. And as you release, you can stretch or move or adjust any part of your body that still needs a bit of help settling down. Having softened our bodies into a state of presence, as much as we are able to do at least. We can now turn our attention inwards and dive deep inside for the next part of our journey. If you don't have the time to sit for the whole meditation with us, then this is a really good place to stop. However, together. If you are here for the whole journey, then with every next inhale, we'll hold our breath for just a few short moments, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. Let's take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel into your body and feel how softness settles in every part of your body. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, follow the downwards flow through your body. Feel your shoulders slowly falling, feel your body slowly softening, and feel how you are slowly slipping deeper into you. One more big breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself melting. Feel your whole body dissolving. Feel how you are slipping into a deeper level of surrender with every slow exhale. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose is an invitation. It invites you to turn inwards and follow this journey. As you breathe in, feel the air flow in through your nostrils. Feel the air touch the back of your throat. Stay with your breath as it flows in through your lungs. And as you fill up the balloon inside your belly, feel yourself slip all the way in. Hold your breath, but hold it only for as long as it feels easy, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, I remind you of these three inner children we invited to sit with us today. There is sadness, there is anger, there is fear. And I want to also remind you that you can use whatever examples work for you. Maybe you're dealing with jealousy. Maybe you're dealing with guilt or shame. For our example today, I'll stick to the simplest examples: sadness, anger, and fear. As you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, see if you can get a look at these three inner children. Does your mind allow you to form a picture of them? Take your next big breath. We'll turn our attention first to sadness and see if you can form an image, an idea of what sadness might look like. I'm going to keep reminding you that it's not important that you see the image. It is simply really helpful to be open to it. We want sadness to remind us of how it speaks within us. In those moments that you might feel sad, how exactly is it that you feel? What are the thoughts that you think while you feel sad? What are the sentences on repeat when you feel the emotion of sadness? We tend to find that it is on repeat. It is a very similar recording again and again every time we feel this emotion. So as you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, ask sadness to speak. Take your next big breath. Then as you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, turn towards sadness, and I want you to speak to sadness and ask sadness this question. But then, can you ask a question and also let the question go? Can you ask the question without searching for an answer with your mind, but just trust that if there's an answer, it'll surface. You'll hear it. As you look at sadness, say, sadness, in those moments when you feel so sad, what is it that you are afraid will happen? What is it that you are afraid will happen? Take your next big breath. Take a moment to thank sadness for showing up, for being seen, for being heard. Let sadness know this is a brave thing to do. Thank you. And we turn our attention towards anger. And as you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, we are asking anger to speak. And while you listen to anger speaking, see if you can form an image of what anger might look like in you. Again, it's not necessary you have the image. It is just helpful to be open to it. When you feel angry, how exactly is it that you feel? What are the words that come up in you? What are the sentences, the thoughts that are on repeat almost every time you feel angry? Ask anger to remind you. Take your next big breath. And then I want you to speak to anger. Ask anger a question and listen to anger answer. So as you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, turn towards anger and say, anger, when you feel so angry, what is it that you really want for me? In that moment when you're so angry, what is it that you really want for us? And just listen to anger. Take your next big breath. Take a moment to thank anger for being seen and being heard. Let anger know that it takes courage. It takes courage to be seen and be heard. Thank you. Then we'll move our attention to fear. Ask fear to come a little closer. And as you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, we want fear to remind us exactly how it is that we feel when we're scared. What are the thoughts, the feelings, the emotions we experience when we are scared? Ask fear to speak clearly. Take your next big breath. Then I want you to turn towards fear and ask fear a question. Say to fear, fear, when you're so scared, when you feel so scared, in that moment, what is your deep desire for me? In the moment of being so scared, what is your deep desire for us? Ask fear the question and just listen. Take your next big breath. Take a moment to thank fear for being seen, for being heard. Let fear know that this takes courage. It is a brave thing to do. Thank you. We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, slipping out of the breath-holding space and into the next. And these 3 inner children, have them sit wherever it is that they want to be. Perhaps they'd like to sit next to you. Perhaps they'd like to sit on your lap and have you hold them. However it works for you. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a long, slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel how softness settles in every part of your body. One more big breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself slip all the way through. There is no more attention on your breathing. You can sit all the way back or even lie all the way back down and feel yourself just floating. I'll read you one more time from Lao Tzu. He says, "He who knows others is wise. He who knows himself is enlightened. Knowing others is intelligence. Knowing yourself is true wisdom. Mastering others is strength. Mastering yourself is true power." Lao Tzu says, all of this you have, it's all in you. You have to know yourself. You have to master yourself. then you will have knowledge, you will have wisdom. But he makes it clear that as much as this knowledge, this wisdom is a treasure, he says, practice is the key to this treasure. This treasure will remain locked without practice. This practice specifically, and the practice of meditation generally, is about seeing, listening, overcoming the urge to react to what I'm seeing and hearing. Because when I encounter the difficult emotions within me, and if I give in to the urge of reacting to this, I have to understand that my reaction comes from my programming, the patterns of reaction that are already well embedded. And if I have a difficult emotion and I react the way I always have, I'm simply repeating all the patterns, all the programming, forever and ever. This practice really is about coming face to face with what I'm feeling, especially those big emotions that I don't really want to feel. And then overcoming the urge to react. Overcoming the urge to react in the same old way. And instead, look, listen, observe, see everything about this emotion. Even as we just did, have a conversation with this emotion. I'd like to know why you are here. I'd like to know why you feel the way you feel. Tell me, what is it that you really want for me? What is it that you are afraid will happen? And in this space, I always get to know the deeper root of every big emotion. The more I practice, the more ease I have with sitting with any emotion. And once it becomes easy to hold my arms open for any emotion to come in for a hug, because I'll hold you until you feel better. The more I have become the best part of me, if I can listen to sadness and fear and anger, then I'm not being sadness and fear and anger. I'm being the strongest part of me. I'm being the healthiest part of me. I'm being my soul, my being. But we have to practice this. Because without practice, the chest doesn't get unlocked and the treasure remains hidden. We have the last 5 breaths of gratitude to do together. With every exhale, I'll say my thank you, and I invite you to say yours. Let's take a deep breath in. Thank you for this journey of learning how to turn towards everything I feel and not run away from anything. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning how to feel all the way through any emotion. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning that every part of me, even the parts of me I might have had the most difficulty with in the past, every part of me is trying to be helpful, is trying in some way to move me towards something that is better. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for creating a calm space for all of my inner children. One more big breath in. Thank you, beautiful people. Thank you for opening your arms to your inner children. I promise you they want to be held by you. And the only thing that can ever heal them is you holding them. Thank you, Vivian. Thank you, Anthony. Good morning, Jason. Good morning, Judith. Thank you, Sunmarie. Thank you, Stefan. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Sarah. Trying to remember who else is here, and I can't remember right now. Have a beautiful day. I'll see you again soon. Ciao, ciao.